Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Pare Talks. I am your co-host, Nick Gonzalez, with
EJ, what's the deal?
Yes, sir. And today we have a very special guest in the building. He is a Magikero. And that's,
Research? What?
that's also, if you don't know, that could be known as a magic man or a magic woman. You know
we
what I mean?
pronounce it
If
right?
you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Is that the term?
So in Tagalog, it's Magikero, but like, no one's gonna know what that shit is.
That's
You know
a
what
little
I
bit
mean?
more of a,
Yeah.
just a tad.
So the kind of Taglish is Magikero. There is a group in the because like I was saying, I was on Kumu and I connected with all the magicians out there. And after they heard about us, they made their own group out there. Because we're just 5 guys.
Yeah.
They got like 30 dudes, and they call
Damn.
themselves the Salamanqueros. And I'm like, yo, okay, cool.
And they were biting off your name? Is that what you're
I don't know, because
saying? Inspired.
let's call it inspired. Because our thing is it's one show,
Yeah.
and I think they're just like a club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to get something going.
Yeah, but they're all like cool guys, and they're all really good at magic and stuff. So whatever.
Yes. Well, we do have the Magikero, the Magic Man, Mr. Andre, and he is also known on the stages as DreMagix. So thank you
round
for
of
coming
applause.
in, my
Yo,
brother.
thanks for having me, bro.
Yes,
Long time
man.
no see, all the things. Everyone always mispronounces DreMagix.
Okay.
And it's so weird.
Dre
And I
Magic.
just
You guys,
did it.
no,
I butchered it.
you got it correct.
Oh, I got it.
Which I'm like, dope, first
Nice.
time.
How do they usually pronounce
They're
it?
like DreMagix or like, it's the X
Damn.
that fucks with people. I can cuss on this thing, right?
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
sure.
It's the X that fucks with people. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Dre Magics.
Yo.
Dre Magics.
Yeah, I can see how maybe it doesn't roll off the tongue, but I thought it was pretty simple and straightforward.
yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And honestly, man, we got a couple different ways where we could go about this because I feel like a lot of people in general don't even know about magic these days.
Yeah.
The performance of it and also probably the history and culture behind it. And to just touch on something really briefly, I was kind of like looking over your videos and I saw one where you were interviewing this lady about origin of her podcast, and you had just talked about the word manifestation and how it was a cultural appropriation or something like that. It might have been a slight joke or something like that, but I just thought it was kind of interesting if there was like any history behind that.
Yeah, no, it's I do a lot of work in LA and stuff. And everyone's talking about the secret or like manifestation.
Yeah.
And it's here's the thing, right? Like all manifestation is magic words.
Okay.
Right? And that my whole like joke was like, yo, don't appropriate our shit. Cause like
Yeah.
it's cultural appropriation, right?
Yeah.
But I just like to make people upset that like
So it is kind of like a pseudo term, not pseudo
Yeah.
term, but is that?
I'm just cracking jokes. Like the whole thing is just me fucking with people that, because you hear something so many times it gets annoying. Where you're
Yeah,
like,
right.
Let's manifest this, and I'm like, yo, that's just say abracadabra, man. It's just
Okay.
but the kind of root of it was the translation of abracadabra is I create by which I speak.
Nice.
And when I was writing my show, I'm like, yo, isn't that fucking like manifestation? Isn't the same thing?
Right, and that's
no,
very
I'm just-
old because that's got a Hebrew background.
Yeah.
Right? Abracadabra, and Hebrew's like the oldest.
What do you know like the meaning behind magic, or how'd you get into it? Was this just for show? Does it intrigue you?
So
Or-
like I got into magic hella late, right? I was like 22. Everyone learns
that late?
magic. Everyone kind of picks up magic at like 8 and like 10 because they get the magic set, right? But we've always played card games in my family, and
Yeah.
all my friends would play like, Pasoy Dos or Thongits or
Poison.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, Poison, Frustration, Speed, all the card games. But I was playing poker professionally through college.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I would treat it like a job. Like I was playing online for 8 hours a day.
Rounders type of vibe.
Yeah, but like the stakes were really low, but I was playing 8 tables.
This is online.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can play as many games as you want, and my cap was like, let me do 8 tables. So it looked like some Iron Man Matrix shit where I'm just like,
Yeah. And give us a visual. What website was this?
I was playing on Poker Stars.
Poker. Oh, okay. I heard of them.
Yeah, but I was playing like
They're nice.
nickel and dime games, dude. But if you play long enough, I was able to like live off of it for a while.
Right.
Through college.
Yeah. And they made it illegal. And they say it was because of gambling, but they couldn't tax it. The government couldn't tax it.
Always trying to penny pinch Uncle Sam.
So they froze. Like I heard about it through like the news of like some poker site.
Yeah.
And I pulled all my money out of an account, and I told all my friends to. And one dude had like 20K frozen in his account for like 3 months. And that's a lot of money to just like have and not have access to, right?
Yeah, man.
So I was playing, so I would play 8 hours a day, and like I wouldn't go to class. Sorry, Mom. But I was playing 8 hours a day, and then I would go play a home game at night, right? And then I would just like race the sun home.
Full-time job at this point.
Wake up, yeah. But you know, you like doing something. It's a game, so you can do it all day if you love it, right? They made it illegal. A buddy that I taught poker to, he taught me magic. Because he was a magician in the junior program at the castle. And
Nice. And this is the Magic Castle you're talking about?
Are
Are
you
you familiar with the Magic Castle?
Magic Castle.
Yes.
I know a Magic Castle.
Where's that?
Signal Hill.
Nice.
not that one. Oh, okay. Other Magic Castle. But yeah, it's just like the biggest magic club in the world type thing.
And it's based in LA, right?
It's in Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. But he was a junior member there, and he taught me a few things because I saw him do it for like friends at the table, and I'm like, "Yo, that's really cool. Can you?" And that was the exchange, right? He would show me card tricks, I would teach him poker.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And now, I've never said this on the internet. He is better than me at poker.
Wow.
But I am better than him at magic. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but he doesn't
switch off.
He doesn't need it, man. He works for NASA and like
he doesn't need it.
Shout out
does he
that
get
guy.
a shout out? Yeah, that guy.
yeah, shout out to Gregory Villar. He actually landed.
Shout out Greg.
He was Greg.
I'm
gonna get this wrong. Yeah, he works for NASA. He was the lead on a team that landed 2 Mars rovers.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was like a
So he can always pull that one out.
yeah Filipino
Or
dude.
twice, I guess. You know?
Yeah, and
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I'm in the entertainment industry, I see all these like articles being written on him about like Filipino, all this stuff. And I'm like, that's my best friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So he kind of was the introduction, let's just say, to magic.
Yeah.
He showed you your first couple tricks.
Yeah.
And then you were playing poker to make a living. What intrigued you ultimately to become the student in magic, to become the teacher eventually?
To
So to
like
speak.
teach magic.
So to speak, like how you were just a student and you know, like how you just said on camera, you surpassed them, so to speak.
So you teach magic.
But what
too.
did you see out of magic that really made you want to pursue?
Oh yeah, so I was pre-med at the time in college. And you know, when you learn magic, you're gonna show the stuff you learn to your friends, right? You want to like, oh, this is cool, like check this out. And through that, I booked a birthday show, and it was like the worst show. It was probably like top 3 worst shows I've ever done.
Oh no!
I got paid to do 45 minutes for kids, and all I knew was card tricks.
At least you got paid.
Yeah. Well, they paid me like $100 for like 40 minutes, and I'm like, yo, this is more than.
Were you looking to get money at that point, or were you just so into magic?
I was just like down, and they're like, "Oh, we can pay you $100." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like I'm not gonna do it for free now.
Where'd you find that gig at? From?
Dude, I was doing magic at like a kickback in someone's garage, and one of the dudes there was like, "Yo, we're having your birthday this weekend. Come through." I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, whatever.
Sick.
I didn't even have business cards.
And the kids were entertained, to say the least, or
I didn't know how to perform then.
Gotcha.
So I was just doing the tricks.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, you don't understand how crazy this stuff is. And they didn't, because it's different with kids.
Go home and read about it.
Right. And they're just like, when is cake? And I'm like, fuck, when is cake? Because this is a long time. This is a long 40.
Right.
But it was cool. I got paid. And then I decided,
so that kind of just came to you almost like organically.
yeah. And through failure, like, I have such a chip on my shoulder that I'm like, I never want to feel like this again.
Yeah.
You know, and you fail at so many times.
That's how you get better.
That eventually you start to succeed, right?
Yeah.
Or you quit.
Right.
So,
and you haven't
Not
quit
gonna
yet.
quit.
not yet, man.
And you've been doing this for how long now?
Yo,
You said 22, and which is late, but that doesn't sound late to me.
No,
But then again, maybe it's like a kid playing tennis where they start all early. I don't know.
yeah. I'm in it for like 14 years now. 14 years.
Nice, man.
So have you reached a point where you felt like you wanted to quit in between the process from 22 to never?
Not. And that's how you know, right? Like,
Okay. Yes.
as long as, like, I've ended relationships over magic.
Really?
Like, I've worked jobs that I'm just tired of, and I'm like, I want to be a magician.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I started with another guy doing magic. You know him, but he doesn't do magic anymore.
Is that like a little duo going on?
It wasn't a duo. We were just doing it together just because, let me show you something. Let me show you stuff. And then we did a show where we both tanked.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is fight or flight, because now I never want to quit. And he quit. I feel like he quit.
Crumbled. He crumbled under
It's
pressure.
those two type of people, right?
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
He used to do taekwondo with us, but
I don't know who he's referring to.
I'll tell you later.
Take
Yeah. Speaking of the whole taekwondo,
He's a great guy.
We do have a taekwondo background. Have you ever touched on that on your content online? Like,
No, I try and keep that like
separate.
Yeah. Because I'm in so many ventures that like, if I can keep them separate, then I know, like, obviously some of them intertwine and stuff.
Yeah.
But if I can keep all my hobbies kind of separate, I think it helps keep me sane.
Yeah, right.
Because I get this like analysis paralysis type thing.
Gotcha.
Where like, there's so many things.
The imposter syndrome, where you want to be perfect, like
that, but like just having so many options that like I don't know what to pick today,
right.
and I just don't do anything.
Yeah,
and that sucks
it
for
does.
sure.
So like, just briefly, what did you end up getting to on the belt wise on TKD?
Dude,
how long have you guys been taekwondoing each other? With each other.
How long have you been taekwondo doing?
Yeah.
Well, I know. I mean, I was doing it since I was like 5 years old, but I think definitely when I
started
was like
later.
Probably when I was like 10, 13. Easily, I knew
year.
him when I was like 10 all the way up to like, I don't know.
Yeah. I started when I was like 12.
What year is this?
But yeah.
This is 2020. Oh, what year was that?
Yeah.
Well, it was probably 2002 for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. So.
And this was in whatever. But what really ultimately I'm asking is there anything you kind of carry, maybe like from characteristics and values you learn from that martial arts background into magic at all?
Yeah, for sure. It's the because you can't win every match that you fight, right?
Yeah.
And it's I for sure developed the chip on my shoulder from a part of it's from taekwondo where
that grit, like
and it's the idea of like I was never the perfect archetype for a fighter.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Because I'm a bigger dude, but you use the skills that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just adjust to make yourself better.
Work what you got with what you got,
Yeah, for sure. Like, for example, like I had to use timing a lot because I wasn't like the fastest dude.
Oh, totally.
Right. The same thing with kind of magic where, listen, I'm not I have chops, but I'm not, there are tons of guys and women that are just technically better than me in terms of like sleights and technique.
Do you think that's like a God-given kind of ability thing, or is it just strictly the hours and amount of time they've put in?
It's that. Like if I practice more, I would be a god. But I don't. So I'm not.
Like if you had a hyperbolic time chamber, like DBZ style,
for sure,
dude.
But the thing I can do is like I know I'm funny. I'm good with improv,
Right.
and so I can entertain. So that's what I focus on. I'm not the. Other people invent magic tricks. I don't do that. I just like read it in books, adjust it, tell my little stories, and like make it fun for everyone.
So you were always good at walking up on stage and talking in front of a.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Nice.
Just
that natural.
No, you know what? It's like Slumdog Millionaire, bro, where like you find parts of your life that you're like, oh, this is where I got this.
Okay.
Right. So when I was a kid, we used to pray the rosary, and they would make me lead the prayer. But the thing is, I didn't want to pray when I was 7.
Yeah.
So
Who did?
I would speed through it. Like I would memorize the thing and just speed through it. And that's how I got comfortable with speaking in front of people.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And just stuff like that over and over again.
So your stage performance.
I mean, like I like
That's pretty
it.
hard. I mean, I would say you said you're good at
Yeah,
improv.
for most people, they're just,
Yeah.
not only do they have a problem speaking,
That's a skill.
but then you gotta, perform.
Yeah.
And also, I do find that interesting. It's kind of cool in 2 ways because one, like I said, not a lot of people I feel like know about magic in general.
Yeah.
And last year, actually, I got to go to a show out in Vegas. It was a dude named Shinlim.
Okay.
And it just left, I don't know what your thoughts are on him, but it just left a lasting impression, and it rekindled something in my brain that reminded me of being 11 years old, walking down the strip and seeing guys do the trick, and something just, and most guys do like a short-lived kind of thing where it's like, oh, I want to do some tricks when I'm 11 years old,
right.
And then you stop when you're 12. And it would instantaneously made me think was this Shin Lim guy. He didn't stop from when he was that age, He didn't stop when he was 12, and so it's almost that wonder, And is that kind of why you're still in it? Is there like a wonder and mystique that you're able to tap into on a daily basis, or do you feel?
Why do I keep doing it? It's just like fucking food, man. For me,
satisfying.
Food for your soul. Satisfy my soul.
It's for my soul, man.
So it's just like,
yeah, man.
If I died alone, if I could do magic for the rest of my life, I'm fine.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Your calling, your purpose.
Yeah, and it's not like it's this hard thing where I'm like, oh, I gotta wake up. And do
it doesn't feel like a chore.
This. Yeah, it doesn't at all. But I just. Like, if I'd made 0 money doing it, I would still probably do it. Yeah. And find another way to make money.
Yeah.
How's your parents feel about it?
So they didn't like it at first.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was in the middle of school when I made the decision.
Uh-huh.
And so the deal was, I'll finish school, and then we'll figure it out.
Uh-huh.
Because I was, like, getting booked regularly at the time.
Which is a great sign.
Yeah.
And
and then I started being able to support myself. And once that happened, they're cool with it.
Once they see the money rolling and you can support yourself, they're like, okay, cool, I can trust
And do you think maybe
it,
being, just to touch on it a little bit, being Filipino American, I feel like maybe in some Asian cultures they want you to go into like the whole STEM fields.
Oh, for sure.
It's like that stereotype stigma. Even though it's a stereotype, it kind of is not.
Yeah, it's
and they look down on art and arts.
Yeah, so I think about shit like that all the time, and I think it's
like, do you think about breaking that barrier as well, or do you think about?
For sure. I mean, that's kind of what the whole Magikero thing is about, right? But I think. Also, I'm like, who am I? Like, if I'm wrong, fucking whatever.
You wear it on your sleeve.
Yeah. But I think, the reason why they push the STEM fields for so long is they've seen it work for other people. right? And it's like, hey, it's worked for your auntie, it's worked for your
Yeah.
cousin, it's worked for my cousin.
Yeah, and one thing, in my opinion, with Filipino, one thing they like is if it's don't fix what's not broken.
Right.
So just keep.
It's
on.
hard to innovate. Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Recipe for success. It's like,
Right.
I hear you.
David Blaine, Chris Angel, are they real or fake? Do you like them? Are they considered magicians?
I mean, they're both considered magicians. I like one of them.
If I would take a wild guess, David Blaine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's like the OG.
I like David Blaine because when I got into it, I studied all the old shit too, right? So I studied all the shit from the 60s and the 50s. David Blaine made magic cool again.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's such a big resurgence, and I'm a product of it.
Would you say David Blaine is potentially like the Dane Cook of magicians?
Huh.
It's almost like at the timing, like people hate on Dane Cook, but he kind of made comedy
No, yeah.
relevant in the same way David
That's a
Blaine
good,
did a little bit,
that's a good parallel.
But I kind of agree. I did enjoy watching him too. I had a pull.
Yeah.
I mean, this motherfucker, he was underwater for maybe over a day.
Right.
Is that even still considered magic?
So, like stunt stuff like that is like, it's in the realm of magic.
Okay, that's
It was funny because when those specials came out, I wouldn't watch the stunt. I would watch all the shit leading up to the stunt.
okay.
Cool.
All the like card tricks and all the sleight of hand stuff. And I'm like, yo, this dude, he has chops. And, when he came out, there was such a big like bash like campaign against him, right? They're like, oh, he's doing these tricks you can get for $5 at the shop.
Yeah.
And he got a TV show. And it's like, yeah, but you could have done it, Like, why are you hating on something?
Yeah, it's almost not like what you're doing; it's how you go about it.
Yeah.
And when he was using people in pop culture or doing some tricks where it was like street involved, kind of like it just I feel like some of the way he did it was different from the conventional style where it was just I'm on a stage and I'm gonna do it. He went to the streets, he went to your warehouse, he went to your and I thought that was also an aspect.
As a child, that had me excited.
Yeah, because he videotaped the audience reactions also. And
good point.
No one did that until kind of Blaine in the Angel era.
Okay.
Almost like an MTV like punked kind of thing.
Right.
Reaction.
Yeah, so it was like full immersion, right? Because people like watching other people enjoy themselves.
True.
Right? So it was parts of the recipe for his success.
Favorite magician, least favorite.
Oh, dude, I have so many favorites. I probably have like a top. I'll do top 3.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
David Blaine is one of them. Second is his name is Daniel Garcia.
Is he in a certain era?
It's all kind of our area.
Okay,
like my
early
era.
2000s.
Yeah, Danny Garcia. He actually is David Blaine's consultant.
Oh shoot!
Nice.
So he like develops the tricks.
He was just behind David Blaine, so just watching his tricks.
Yeah. No, he like invents the shit he does on TV.
Okay, nice.
Right.
So
So-
like Steve Wozniak, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And the last one, I'd probably say like, gotta get a comedy guy in there. Tom Mullica. He's like an old school.
Okay.
He was like around in the 80s and stuff, but he's just like the
Tom
bits he comes
Mullica.
up with. Yeah, his famous thing is he would like eat cigarettes.
Yeah. Not to tear anybody down, but I mean, is there kind of like a least favor? Is there beef within the magician realm?
It's rough because in magic, right? Everyone kind of knows everyone. I'm only like 1 degree away from David Blaine, where if I meet somebody, that person will know
Gotcha.
David Blaine
Ooh,
personally,
nice.
right? And I've
Small
met
world kind of.
Yeah, and I've met a lot of my heroes in magic already.
Interesting.
Especially like before they died and stuff. There are the thing in magic is like the guys at like my level, maybe a little bit below my level in terms of success, like whatever you measure success as, right? Those are the dudes that like to talk shit and like to kind of like put down other magicians.
Fucking haters.
Yeah, but all the like elite, like top level guys are so supportive.
They want to see you
Really?
win.
Yeah, they do. They want to see you win, and I kind of like. That's one of the lessons
That's
I
what
took in
winners
my
kind
own
of do,
thing.
though. Winners don't tear
For
each other
sure.
down.
Yeah.
It's definitely a loser mentality. I
Right.
mean, not
It's
that-
like crab mentality for sure. We're like, yo, my slice of the pie isn't dependent on your slice of the pie.
Right?
Right? Like you said,
Good
you
point.
you watch like Shin Lim or whatever. Like who cares what I think about him?
Yeah.
If you're watching
Do you
Magic,
think he's kind of gimmicky? Is that the vibe I'm
it's a
getting?
stylistic issue.
Stylistic issue.
I'm not as dramatic.
Yeah, that's what I gauged from it. Totally.
Is he
It was
dramatic?
like it was like voice,
Yeah.
visual.
Right.
Maybe
It's still strong magic though.
Yeah.
And like
Totally.
if you walked away with feeling like you were 10,
Exactly.
he did his job.
Yeah, that's the main point of it. It's
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, and like the more people watching Magic and more people watching Asian magicians,
So,
yeah, man.
that helps me by like
I know,
a
man.
lot.
This guy said Filipino magician. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Is that where that
That's
word
pretty
stems
cool.
from? Essentially, Magikero. Is that Tagalog or is that Spanish?
Salamanero?
Salamanquero is the like direct term,
Mm-hmm.
but you know how like in the Philippines they don't speak like the formal all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like Magikero. It's like
Taglish.
yeah, and like white people could say it, like black people could say it. Everyone can kind of just
Hop on.
because they know the word magic, right?
Yeah.
You kind of talked about the benchmark, and this is not necessarily like the Grammys where someone can win a Grammy in Magic and measure it. So do you first personally feel like you, I almost fobbed out and said personally.
Personally,
Do you personally feel, what's your goals? Do you have your own personal benchmarks? Is there something you'd like to hit?
yeah,
in,
for
the
sure.
Magic realm? What would that
We're
look
kind of
like to
working
you?
on it right now. But if I had access, you know what? First and foremost, if I can perform for the rest of my life and support myself, I'm chilling.
That's cool.
Like
dude.
I don't need fame. I just let me be rich. No, I'm not even that. Right? Just like enough to live a cool life.
Right.
Right?
What's a cool, oh shit, what's a cool life? Describe a cool life.
Just like
Traveling?
yo, traveling's weird for me because I don't like to travel unless I'm working.
Ooh.
So what if traveling involves your work? Obviously.
Like if I do a show.
Gigs.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
you know.
And I've got to travel because of shows, but now I'm conditioned to like, yo, if I travel, if I pay for it, I don't feel like I've earned it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like magic's my favorite thing to do.
Totally.
So if I go somewhere, I want to do magic, right? So
Do you have a favorite place you've done magic at so far? Anything that stands out from the rest?
every Magikero show I do is like dope. I just
Yeah.
like the vibe because, you know, we met and all of us are the same dude. It's like this, like we're just shooting the shit all the time, but just with magic tricks.
Where's the capital magic place?
I'd say the Magic Castle. Yeah.
Okay.
So where's
Even
the
over
we were
Vegas.
talking about that earlier.
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, so where's I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the other magic castle. It was so out of
No,
tune.
no. That's a fantasy castle. You're getting it mixed up.
Nice.
Okay.
Is that place dope? What is that?
It could be equally as dope.
What is that? Yeah. Anyways, Magic Castle.
Is that a
Oh,
smoke
in
shop?
Hollywood, right? We were talking about it in
It's
Hollywood.
no, it's in Hollywood. It's
Okay,
a real
Magic
place. It's
Castle.
called the Magic Castle.
Is that a comedy?
No, it's
Oh, yeah. So it's super.
it's a vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Have you been?
Yes.
The name
Special
gets,
place, man.
The name
Special.
gets super pretentious, but I get it because branding, where it's the world famous Magic Castle in Hollywood. Like that's the.
Is it like an auditorium or something?
It's like a mansion they hollowed out,
pretty
and they just built
scary.
showrooms.
Yeah,
Essentially, it's like a dinner and a show. You get to. I had a
okay.
dinner. We had drinks. There's bars. There's shows.
That's
It's-
honestly a really good romantic date.
Yeah,
You think so?
for sure. When I was a member, that would like be my hook. Where I'd be like, "Yo, let's go to Magic Castle."
Is there like a certain demographic for like magic people, or is it all around
What demographic
of audience?
Oh, of audience?
Yeah.
I think everyone likes
Everyone
magic,
likes
bro. I've done magic for like fucking gangsters, like bangers. And I've
Man,
done it
magic
for like
is universal.
yeah, and I've done it for like
Obviously.
academics. Yeah.
Damn, you seen that card, eh?
Oh shit!
Six of spades again.
Hey,
fool.
fool, bring that back, eh? Bring back my keys.
I've done it for everyone, and it's just it makes people turn 10 years old again, which
That's so cool.
which I like because it equalizes people.
I feel like
So that's got to be
humanizes
part of the fulfillment side too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The whole reciprocating. Is it similar like comedy, a laugh? Like, what are you looking for if it's not a laugh? Are you looking for someone to go, whoa? Is it a word? An
It depends.
excitement,
It depends what
expression?
the context is. Like if it's a whole show, you know, you structure it to a point where you get your desired effect.
Right.
Right. Like if I do an hour show, I want you to leave tired from emotion.
Excitement, right? And
Yeah, because there's laughter. There's like wonder. There's like
I think you put it on like you bring out the excitement of that person like they were a 7-year-old kid, right?
yeah.
I feel like when anybody brings out the excitement, that's just a natural, positive feeling you give out, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, like when you get home from Disneyland, you're tired, but it was
No?
the dopest time, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
kind of that. If it's just a trick, I'm looking for the like. I have this habit of looking at people's eyes when I do magic because if they die, like they explode, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool, and that's like the drug for me. I'm like, oh, I got it.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
where you can
pretty
kind of
cool.
tap in and sharpen up even like a trick because you kind of knew where that pool
Yeah.
was?
You kind of hypnotize them, huh?
For sure.
Oh, and you know what? That's a good question too because I was watching this movie on the plane, the Now You See Me.
Yeah.
And the freaking Woody Harrelson, who's just a great actor,
Yeah.
man. He's playing the medium or the
Mentalist.
The mentalist.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the medium. That stuff. How does that work out? Do you know? Is that in your wheelhouse at all?
So one of the guys in the Magikeros, because we all have our own like specialties,
Okay.
and that's how we structured that show. Where it's like everyone kind of does one form of magic.
And where is this at exactly?
Our show,
Yeah, yeah.
we just do it wherever we get booked.
Okay. So you guys
yeah.
pop up and do shows.
Yeah,
Cool,
we're working on this like deal right now, but we're doing a casino run soon. So
Oh, so you
Ooh.
can potentially have like residency.
yeah, so
Cool, man.
Sick,
SoCal kind of thing.
SoCal and one spot in Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah,
man.
I don't want to like release the spots yet
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we haven't signed anything yet.
That's pretty
but-
exciting, man.
Yeah, you know, it's a big it's like a big thing because Magikeros has only been around for a year and a half, right? And personally, I've never done a casino before, so I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Totally.
Pay me casino money, let's go.
Yeah. You want some free credit? Some free slot play?
Yeah, right.
I'll take that.
But it's cool. Like that casino has like brought us out and took care of us already. It was kind of like I
So
feel
they've
like
already made an introduction.
yeah, and they it's weird. I felt like a sugar baby that whole weekend. Because they're like, here's a free room. Oh, you want like free food? Here's free. Order whatever you want. And I'm like, yo, is this what sugar babies feel like?
Is this what it is behind the curtain?
Yeah, I'm not
I
giving
think-
up sugar. But
I think
like,
I can get used to this.
yeah, yo, by the third day, because we were there for 4 days.
Yeah.
By the third day, I like hated steak. Cause you know you get like your eyes get so big on the menu and you're like steak every meal. By the third, I'm like, yo, give me.
Oh,
like,
that's like being on a cruise, man. And you just show up every day to the buffet.
Yeah,
and
for
it's
sure.
Like, by the fourth day, you're like fucking prime rib.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, be grateful.
I know. I felt so bad because at home, I'm just like, yo, can I just get like a sandwich?
Yeah, right.
You know, let me get like
Pizza. Have you heard of it?
slice of toast. Yeah.
Oh man.
But it was cool. So we're working on that.
Cool,
I
man.
forgot what the question was, but yeah.
Me too.
Oh, well, I think he was.
The question was, I kind of blanked out too.
Well, I think I was. You brought up the mentalist kind of thing, and I
That's
watched
right, that's
that.
right.
So I was just wondering if you knew.
Yeah.
The whole...
Okay. So mentalism and hypnotism are two different things.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The mentalism stuff is magic disguised as mind reading,
Okay.
or like anything kind of dealing with the mind, basically.
That's the.
That's mentalism.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I like
Yeah.
that. I like how you just framed that whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. I didn't like mentalism before, and I still am.
Spooked you, kind of thing.
No, it was because I do magic, right? So I didn't like it was so much build up for an expected result. Because magic is kind of like you get a surprise, Right. Usually it's like, oh, the card's in your shoe. Like, what the fuck? Right.
Yeah.
More visual, way more visual.
Yeah. But if a guy's like, think of a number, like for me personally, I'm like, he's going to get the number, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay. I get you.
But the way Mike does it, and I give him shit for this all the time, the way Mike does it is really masterful, where it's like he finds different pockets to do it where it's not so expected. You know, and we've all worked on that. Hypnotism, I don't think it's real. Did that pick up in the mic?
Paid actors.
I don't think it's real. But that's just like
fake.
That's just like what I think. Like, also, who am I, right?
You got a voice.
Yeah, for sure, and it's like super valid. But I've seen hypnotism not work in real life.
Hypnotism.
I've never been drawn to it personally.
Me
Nor
too.
have
So
I ever wanted to see it acted out, performed. Like at a fair, it's like, oh, the hypnotist. I was like, I'm not
It's always
interested.
at like a fair, or
I know, like a county fair, dude. OC fair. I don't know. I just wasn't interested. Sorry, I had no pull.
There's like small shops. Like a hypnotism
like
shops.
hypnotherapy and stuff.
I always get, like curious.
I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask about that too. The whole, because he just said shops. What do you think about the whole? First of all, what do you think about astrology? Is there any connection to magic and astrology?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
I know a lot of people do it in LA,
Yeah. Right.
and I've dated a few girls that are really into astrology, and I have a bunch of friends that are into it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your sign?
You said that you kind of like almost quivered a little bit. Are,
Nah,
they, are they a little overwhelming?
Hey, whatever.
Float your boat.
Kind of. Where it's like, yo, if you're interested in this thing, who am I to say that it's not real?
You're a Scorpio, huh?
Right? Yeah.
Wow, we
How'd you know?
got a mentalist in the room.
Oh, dude.
I think we're about to band together and be a little group.
There it is. There it is. The 7th Magikero.
Dang, I gotta find a skill fast, dude. By the end of
you
this
can
pod,
juggle or something, bro.
yeah.
Anyways, carry on.
something
No, yeah, but it's like there was a time where I would do card readings, but that was just to like make a quick buck.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, people might actually believe the shit I'm saying, so I shouldn't do it anymore.
There's some weight. There's some weight.
Yeah, there's a little bit more weight to it. Astrology is great. Fucking
And that's that.
I
explore
like
it.
the idea of what you said about, I don't know if you said in these words, but the way you describe mentalism is essentially like, to me, being really in tune, to be, to mind read.
Right.
That's the disguise.
Right.
know?
It's magic framed as mind reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe that's more of a definition.
Right. I feel like that plays along the lines of witchery.
Kind of.
And people get scared of that word witch when it's like, why is that word so scary?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Our
Crazy.
witches, they try to run them out of Salem.
For sure.
Do you like basketball?
I don't follow it.
Oh,
I'm not opposed to basketball.
There's a team called the Orlando Magics. Just one.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
I just want to know if that was your favorite team.
Hey, I mean, like, as long as it's not like a culturally appropriated, like, ethnic name, I'm fine.
Gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
the Braves, like, that's it's a little.
The Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins. Yikes.
That might have been the first one to go, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cleveland Indians. Yeah, man.
Rough.
Do you feel like, I want to know also, is there any Filipino you'd say is the clear top in the game right now, like as a entertainer in the realm?
Not in the public eye, no, I would say. But there are a bunch of people. I started looking for people that look like me once I started learning the shit, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
So have you found any people that look like you?
Yo, there's one college in magic, and you can get a doctorate in magic, or at least a master's.
Where's
An
this
actual
located?
degree.
yeah.
I think it's online now, but it used to be in the Midwest, and then there was a thing in California.
Really?
The guy who started it was a Filipino dude.
Really?
And like he looks hella Filipino. Like he has the like wide smashed in face,
Yeah.
pencil mustache. He was a Filipino guy.
Yeah.
And like it sucks that he's gone now because it was in the 50s or 60s.
Oh, man.
But there's
Didn't
some
quite pass on a legacy.
Yeah, but there's some students that I'm like looking for and trying to have conversations with just to see how he's like.
Yeah, man.
Well, you said the college was during the 50s and 60s?
I think so.
Dang, it dated back that long. I mean, no, magic is dated way back when, but
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Do you have a trick on you ready to go, like kind of thing? Is that something like people think about on a daily basis as a magician?
I mean, there are some magicians that are like, I got to be loaded up all the time.
Okay.
And you can kind of see it when they go out because, like, their pockets go out to fucking here.
Yeah.
And they just have everything, especially the newer guys that are just, they don't want to stop. Like, they'll show you one thing. They'll be like, okay, let me show you another thing. Or, like, let me show you another thing. And I'm like, yo, I got to get to, like, somewhere.
You know, it's so funny. I had maybe like a few months ago, a dude did that to me, a customer of mine. And then he put out a card trick, and I was amazed. I was like, dude, that's pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, he did another trick, like he was just shoving it in my face. I'm like, that's pretty cool, but
it's like religion, how they're like, let me show you this book.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
Yeah, it gets very cultish at that point.
yeah.
seen him first.
But they're just excited. Like, good for them. They got the
really,
bug.
though.
But it's like, I mean, read the room. You know what I mean?
Totally. And where can most of people find you at? Like, is it on YouTube? Is it like Kumu? Like,
Dude,
where do you tell people?
I'm kind of everywhere. I'm not really on Kumu anymore. Mm-hmm. But, like, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at the DreMagix. Whoever has DreMagix by itself, fucking get at me because I'll buy it from you.
Uh-oh, someone's got it out there?
DreMagix. How do you spell that?
DreMagix.
DreMagix. We're looking for
video.
you.
Yeah, but my handle is just that with the in front of it. Or you can catch the Magikeros on all the platforms. TheMagikeros.
Awesome. Do you have anything coming up, like in the works or anything? Like that?
We're kind of just working on that deal right now. I don't know when this episode's gonna release, but
probably in a couple weeks, perhaps.
Nice.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe.
But just anything. It's all blasted on all the socials. I post every day, so
Okay.
Totally.
it's too many things that I post.
Yeah. Awesome. I was thinking even maybe the next time, if this happens again, if you guys are still rolling, we were interested in the rest of your crew, your podcast crew.
Yeah.
I know you guys are like, man, what episode are you guys on now?
We just released 32.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we're all loaded up until 37.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you and is that separate from the whole goal and view magician mentality?
I mean, like, mentality is the same. It's always like grind and like let's just do the shit you love. But with Pondasol, it's just like not a job at all.
Yeah.
But shit's starting to roll in. We're getting opportunities for like sponsors and all this stuff. But it's just like, let me just have fun and like talk shit with my friends, man.
Yeah. That's where the true genuine moments.
Well, shit, man. I mean, I don't know. I kind of asked you all the questions I wanted to, besides, like you said, just shooting the shit, like directing towards you.
I like the setup. Is this okay? So, do you guys refill the mango and orange all the time, or are they like?
Dude, I got that today.
Is this cultural appropriation?
Yeah.
No, because we're allowed. We're allowed.
Yeah, we're allowed.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to. Actually, I got a fruit plate that was actually for you as the guest. It's pretty fucking dang. Let's just actually bring that really quick out. Let's just sew this one up. First of all, dude, Andre, you've been, the first real guest in this Pare Talks that we're trying to get going, dude. And it seems like, everybody these days is podcasting, but we're just talking. That's what people are doing.
Like, if you're not podcasting, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, right?
I feel like it's a good time to do it and to do so. Especially in this type of, like what you say, what you do with your friends or your buddies, right? Just shooting the shit, just having a good environment, good vibe.
Yeah, man. So please, we already plugged his socials in because it's probably on the video. Thanks for having, thanks for coming in the studio, man. Seriously, it's like a pleasure. And man, that's a wrap.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it, man.